medical processes that could do that, but he will be the key, and his health will be the key.
Yeah, without a doubt, he's definitely the heart and soul of this Wissahickon football team. And, you know, as we stated in the first half, he can single-handedly keep Wissahickon in the game. He's done that already. Also talked before the half about the morale of the Trojans going in at the halftime, only down 5. You know, that's got to be some sort of a morale builder, even though they're not coming here to play even or just keep it close. They want to win the football game, but you know, having their season start as it has at 0-3 and knowing that Norristown is a perennial powerhouse in the district certainly is a boost to the ego of the Wissahickon Trojans.
Well, I concur with you there, Bill, and I think one of the points you just made, they came here to win, and that was indicative on the initial kickoff when they went for the onside kick, and then subsequently tried it after they scored their touchdown on the second kickoff. So they're here, and they're throwing everything at Norristown. Now, what disappointed me, if I'm a Wissahickon fan, you're great for spilling things tonight. What disappointed me, if I'm a Wissahickon fan, Bill, is their clock management there in the last 2 minutes of the first half. They had an opportunity with great field position, a couple completed passes, and they did not manage the clock well. They had to get right to the line of scrimmage. The play had to be in, and what they do, they huddle up, and the play's coming in from the sideline. They lost like 14 seconds. But
as you did state earlier, there are some underclassmen playing for Wissahickon, and it's still early somewhat in the season, so perhaps that played a small part on Wissahickon's inability to get a playoff. But you're right, that's a big factor, especially at that point in the game when you have an opportunity to score on a team like Norristown and possibly take the lead going into the half. Certainly Wissahickon fans and coaching staff have to be disappointed about that. Feedback.
Right here, the captains again for Norristown tonight: Brad Baker, James Jacobs, Seth Aronoff, and the honorary game captain tonight. I guess the Eagles each game select an honorary game captain. And tonight's Van Alindo's been playing very well. The Eagles, who won the toss the first half, elect to receive. Will have to kick the ball off here to the Trojans. And Norristown will defend the east goal post.
Tom, I think we'll have an opportunity to see right on this initial drive what kind of performance in the second half we're going to get out of number 3, Billy Stout. Whether he's able to come out and get out on that corner and run the football like he did in the first half, or if Wissahickon is just going to have to change their game plan and hand the ball off and have more straight dropbacks from their quarterback.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting, like you say, the first couple possessions. I'm usually pretty decent on predictions, Bill, after watching a half or so on games. I think Norristown is going to get a relatively decent cushion in this game, whether it's going to be based on a big play type of scenario, turnovers, or maybe the injury to Stout. I don't know if Wissahickon can continue to play physical with Norristown and sustain momentum. So,
Tom, I have firsthand witnessed your Nostradamus-like predictions before, and I know that you are generally right on the money with your predictions, so we will see.
Okay, here's Fazzari's kick going deep to Thompson. He's going to take it about his 4, gets up to the 10, trying to cut back, can't get running room, and they're going to be buried in field position. Norristown, excellent play. Williams for Norristown on the stop showed great discipline and footwork, did not get juked out, was able to make the tackle.
Yeah, the key with the kickoff and special teams is staying in your lanes and, not just attacking the football, but being disciplined, like you said, staying in your lanes to prevent that back from gaining any ground, and that's what Norristown did right there. Number 2, Josh Thompson, had no place to go.
Okay, let's see what Wissahickon comes out. Ball's where, I believe, Bill, the 10?
10-yard line, yeah.
Okay, 10-yard line, single setback, trips right, Stout over center. Straight handoff to the fullback. Goes across the 10, maybe picks up 4 yards to the 14. 2nd and 6 for Wissahickon.
What you saw there was a give to the fullback running away from the strength of the formation. Norristown doing a good job defensively.
How would that be deceptive? I mean, you still have your interior linemen. They're not going to go out and cover those trips. You got your 2 linebackers.
Tom, the key on that is the strong safety. Number 1, Brad Baker. He will line up to the strength of the formation as he is right now.
Yeah, but he's 15 yards from the play. How does that?
Well, occasionally he is, Tom, but you'll see him. Sometimes he will move up into a linebacker position. That strong safety position is a unique position in that it serves occasionally as a linebacker and occasionally as a defensive back. So you'll see the Norristown Eagles playing games with Brad Baker since he is such a great athlete.
Okay, 3rd down and about 4. Back split, Stout rolling right, looking downfield, and he's going to be hit and thrown for a big loss by number 45. That is number 45 for the Eagle defense.
Well, Tom, 45 did have a hand on that. Did have a hand on that play, but also, again, a name we've been saying on defense all night long is the sophomore, number 19, Jamal Blackwell.
Yeah, I would say he and Arthur right now, if we had to take a vote and we had a Player of the Game award, they would seriously be considered the front runners as of now anyway.
Absolutely.
Going to bring up a 4th down. Wissahickon is going to be punting. Probably from the end zone or just short of the goal line, about the 2-yard line.
It's going to be another good opportunity for Norristown.
Norristown's going to have to start taking advantage of these to get separation in the score and break it open. Now he should pick that up and go. He should pick that up and go. He let it get by him. All right.
Tom.
I thought he had room, but you got to make a decision. He probably didn't want to fumble it. It was bouncing. It's not like a basketball. Their footballs are harder to pick up. Just ask the Eagles, who blew the game when those 2 guys didn't pick up that fumble the first week against the Rams. The Eagles should have secured that ball, but you know what? Still, in a play like that, you have the lead. You don't want to give Wissahickon the ball right back, so we'll give Baker we'll give him that one.
Yeah, and I think you brought up a key point there. You said he doesn't want to fumble the ball. That early fumble by Baker perhaps has him a little bit hesitant to go ahead and take risks that he would have taken had he not fumbled the football early in the game.
Well, he's going to have to get over that if that is the case, because guess what? He's in the strength of his game is his hands. That's why he's single safety for punts. That's why he's a wideout and the number 1 receiver. And here's a little situation again, taking the handoff by, and one more juke and he's gone. This could be gone.
They won't catch him, Tom.
This could be 60.
He's rumbling, stumbling.
Now, where did he take the ball? Where was the line of scrimmage? That had to be 65 yards. 67 yards. 67 yards. That's why he's the leading rusher in the area. Maybe one of the leading rushers in Pennsylvania before the season's over. And that's why he's been my favorite Norristown Eagle to watch over the last 2 years. James Jacobs, 67 yards from scrimmage. And people, I think the fat lady can start to sing, even though there's 9:20 left in the 3rd. Just as I predicted, there's going to be separation in the score. It's going to be more difficult. Wissahickon can't sustain drives. They're going to be more susceptible to fumbles. However, Norristown can't let up when you got a player like Stout. But Wissahickon now say, here we go again. We're looking at 0-4. Kazari very slow to get the kicks off. This is good, however, but they're going to have to shore up that part of their game. However, with 9:20 to go in 3rd quarter, Billy, Norristown 19. Well, Wissahickon Trojans 7.
And there's the momentum change that we had talked about. We felt it gradually happening, and there it is with James Jacobs with that rush, unofficially well over 100 yards for the evening. And this guy, he's going to put up some big numbers before it's all said and done.
And there's Coach Brian Kennedy, again, associate head coach up out there with the specialty teams. And he's going over the formations and where he wants this ball kicked. And people that are not real knowledgeable football fans, not that I am, but don't know the intricacies of the game and the coaching and preparation. You hear it all the time when you watch the keys to the game in college, the keys to the game, especially in the pros, but it's all levels. Specialty teams, kickoff teams, punting teams, return teams, punt return teams, extra points. These are specialty teams, goal line defense. And when you have a coach like Coach Kennedy in charge of that, Norristown's done very, very well in that capacity.
Yeah, they sure have. And, you know, oftentimes with coaches wanting to put so much preparation into offense and defense, the special teams go unlooked.
Okay, no, it looks like a fumble.
Norristown has the football, Tom.
Let's see. Yes, it is. Norristown ball. I had to wait for the official to signal because it was very close to the sideline.
And, Tom, just as I said, with your Nostradamus-like predictions, you had just mentioned Wissahickon being prone to the fumble.
Absolutely.
And sure enough, there it was.
Well, again, I played this game a little bit, coached it a little bit. Very fortunate to be the first Norristown School District coach to coach Steve Bono. We all know his future. However, I have a feel for the game. And Norristown could really put the nail in the coffin of the Trojans with a score in this possession.
Great field position.
Okay, once again, and now the ball goes to Thompson inside, gets about 3, drives straight ahead, tackled by the interior of the Wissahickon defense, led by number 52, Jermaine Thompson, and 57, David Atkins. I'd like to see Norristown get something wide. I think right now, however, if they have some new plays in that we haven't seen, with a fairly comfortable lead and the ball, and possibility of scoring more, they may want to hold that out and not show their next opponent.
I think you're right, Tom.
But they have to show their next opponent enough things for them to prepare so they don't just prepare for one thing. And there's a quick pitch, and once again, they're having trouble getting him around the end. He has not been successful around the end. That's another aspect that I'm sure Coach Grove will address. Is that blocking or what? I mean, he has the speed. They're pitching him the ball to go wide. They want to break him.
Well, I think you have to credit the Wissahickon, defense.
I'll credit him 2 times, 3 times. But eventually that play's got to work for the offense.
And it will, Tom. I think you give a guy like James Jacob the ball 3 times, he's going to break one of those.
But he's gotten thrown for short gains or losses, anything that he's run wide. That's why I mentioned to you about some counter, misdirection, reverse action. All right, backs are split, wide outs, split Baker, right. Blake, little dot, wide open. Wide open is the fullback out of the backfield, and he may go. Ooh, no. Beautiful, beautiful execution. Nice play call there, Bill.
Beautiful play call, and I want to give credit to number 1, Brad Baker, for the block out on the corner that enabled that play to go for about an extra 20 yards.
Well, you got Norristown coaches up here in the box. I know Coach Pierantozzi's up here, former outstanding quarterback at Westchester University, very integral part of Norristown staff, and he can read a defense. He did that in college, and I believe in the pros. He had, I think, a cup of coffee in the pros, and he may have seen something and relayed that down to Coach Grove, and subsequently Norristown had a very nice game, 1st and 10 right now. And where's the ball, Coach? Can you?
Appears to be inside the 12-yard line.
Right, and there's Jacobs, pushed back after a short gain.
Looks like Jacobs made it to about the 10-yard line. Ball was on just inside the 12, about the 11. Just a short gain on that play. And it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, we have a 2nd and 9 here, and they can get a 1st down, Coach, if they get the ball to the 1-yard line. And number 5, Blaine Pierce into the backfield, giving a limping James Jacobs a breather. He's a workhorse for a 140-pounder, Coach.
Oh, he's had a busy night. Little confusion in the Norristown Eagle backfield. Now they're in the I set.
Ryan Blake, he's going to get thrown for a sack. He did. Now I think we'll see that number 14, Jason Fazzari, come in to attempt a field goal. Number 17 is in the game. I'm sorry, I lost count of downs. It is third down. Third down and very long. 16. The ball at the 17. It would be a 34-yard attempt if they had to kick it from this spot.
We got 3 receivers out to the right, Tom.
You know, that's not the problem is he's not getting protection. Blake has had a rush every pass, even the ones he completed all night. The offensive line is giving him little or no protection to set and look downfield. Right there, they give him a little time, and he's wide open. That is number 2, and that is the number 2 for the Norristown Eagles, Jake Williams.
What a smooth delivery.
But Bill, it was a great pass, a great pattern run by Williams. We have an injured Viking or Trojan down on the field. But the key to that play was the protection the offensive line gave to Ryan Blake.
And what great timing also.
All right. Now we're up to 25-7 score. And now the game is going the way the prognosticators had thought it would.
Yeah, Tom, this is where you're going to see a lot of the sophomores and 10th graders from the Norristown team start to get excited. You know, see them start to.
I think they have.
You'll start to loosen up their legs a little bit, and you can see a few of them starting to jump around down here.
They may be specialty team guys. I don't know if they're younger. We have an injured Viking or an injured Trojan player down. I can't make his number out, Billy, from here.
Yeah, Tom, I'm not sure who that is, but they seem to be stretching his legs. Hopefully he's okay. Maybe he caught a cramp or something.
Yeah. What is very, very common, especially in the early part of football season in warm weather, and although it's a decent, nice night out here tonight, temperatures in the 70s, it's humid. And these kids perspire. And when you lose body fluids, that has a tendency to cramp your muscles. Again, James Jacobs, prime example of that ailment at times. Billy, with the events of the summer and the number of players succumbing to the heat, trainers are very, very aware. Not that they always haven't been, but they have to be even more aware to situations where players go down as a result of maybe complications due to humidity or heat. And we hope that, again, that the Wissahickon Trojan player that is down will be bouncing back very soon. If it were serious by now, there are medical personnel, doctors, ambulances, and they're not even budging. So it's probably just getting into the point where he can walk off on his own power.
And there he's.
Get a number. If you could get me a number.
That's number 4, Tom.
All right, that number 4 for the Trojans is Sean McGonigal. Sean is a 5'10", 150-pound cornerback, and I guess Jake Williams put a great move on him. He might have twisted an ankle, allowing Williams to get open. So he's all right. Fazzari in now. Let's even get this kickoff a little quicker, a little more fluidity. Kick down. It's blocked. No, they have to work on that.
Yeah, unfortunately, the extra point team has been less than dazzling tonight.
But you know what's good about this? What's good about this, I don't know who Norristown has coming up next week. We'll find that out before we go off the air. I know they're on the road. We only have 5 home games scheduled, 4 not including Thanksgiving, and that's always a possibility that the Eagles could be involved in a playoff game. Doesn't look like PW will, since they've already had They haven't won in 3 weeks, and their schedule's tough. But at Norristown's possibility, if they keep winning, and they could achieve the playoffs for the 4th consecutive year, which would be a tremendous credit to them. But what's fortunate about this night, they'll have an opportunity to work on these things. And the coaches will show them the videotape. And they'll be able to vindicate the player or players responsible for their not doing their job properly, whether it's the line not blocking, the center snap low, the timing off, the hold slow, the kicker not being ready. A lot of things could be the case.
Yeah, that's a great point, Tom. And, as you and I both know, at this point in the season, even though your kids right now have a sense that the game is well in hand, as a coach, you want to erase this. You don't want to look at the score. You want your kids to continue to work on the things you've been teaching them all year and continue to improve.
Okay, here's Thompson. Tripped up nicely by number 15. Number 15, Richie Ralston, a senior special teams player. Dan Lester also playing well on the special teams and also on the second team linebacker defense. Norristown's offensive blocking, where they have to protect straight up rushes, is a little bit ineffective tonight. Indicative on Ryan Blake having not a lot of time on the straight drops, and their place kickers getting a lot of pressure on them.
Yeah, certainly that's one thing that, as you said before, when coaching staff goes...
They're susceptible to stunts and blitzes when they're not picking that up. Well, in the third quarter here with 5 minutes to go, Norristown obviously still has and should still have their first team defense in. I do see 22 James Jacobs here playing the left corner. Roll out by Stout. And he's really carrying that ball like a loaf of bread. I wouldn't be surprised if somebody pops that ball out of his arm before long.
Yeah, Tom, you can't help but feel bad for Billy Stout. It's obvious he's such a competitor, but when you sustain an injury on the ankle or the leg, and you rely on that part of your body so much to free yourself and to make plays, he's really in a way handicapped himself out there tonight. And, it's unfortunate for him and unfortunate for Wissahickon, but fortunate for the Eagles.
Absolutely. But in the same token, why does he have to play defense too?
Well, I agree with you.
Straight back, Stout, looks downfield, open.
Oh.
Overthrown, intercepted. And that is number 2. Is that Jake Williams?
That is Jake Williams, Tom. And he returned that ball all the way down.
Inside the 10.
Inside the 10-yard line.
And, the Norristown coaches up here in the booth, the scouts are down there celebrating a big whoop. They may have seen something. They may have seen something in the defense or in the offensive pattern and changed the defensive set.
Well, Tom, what happened there was a Wissahickon receiver simply fell down.
Yeah,
and
that's something you don't predict. Here come the Wissahickon cheerleaders over to bid goodwill, and they should not be booed by the ignorant people that may be doing it. As a goodwill gesture, they're coming over to give the Norristown side a cheer. All right, meanwhile, play is resuming. Norristown has the ball, 1st and goal. Straight handoff, it looks like.
Oh.
Is that Jason? That's
the fullback, number 32.
That's Jason Thompson.
Jason Thompson on the carry.
I don't see the Norristown cheerleaders. Are they still here or did they leave?
Tom, they're along the fence watching.
Oh, okay. I thought they may have reciprocated this gesture of goodwill and sportsmanship. And they probably already made their trip over to the north bleachers. Second and short. Norristown looking to put the game away, and they just did. Touchdown, number 32, Jason Thompson. I believe that was 32. And I'm glad to see that Coach gave him the ball.
Yeah,
because he's been blocking all year and helping to free up the scat back that is James Jacobs.
You took the words right out of my mouth. Jason Thompson, like we said earlier, doesn't get the football very often, but when he does, he sure runs hard. And like you said, he does a great job of blocking for Jacobs all game long and all year long. And it's nice to see him be rewarded for his hard work and his efforts.
All right, okay. Is this Fazzari still? Yeah, this is Fazzari. Let's see if we get any improvement here. Let's see if you can see anything, Bill. Straight, good snap.
Boy, they almost got it again, Tom.
He got it again, and there's a flag, and he might have run into the kicker. There could be a penalty assessed on the kickoff. But 2:57 remaining in the third. It's all she wrote here at Roosevelt Stadium. We're going to play it out to the end. A lot of young kids hopefully will get some valuable varsity experience. Norristown leading 32-7, and now the game is going along the lines the way people thought. This penalty of roughing the kicker will be assessed on the kickoff.
Tom, one thing I wanted to take a look at was the offensive line that the Eagles do have in during their extra point. Sometimes, coaches have different philosophies, but sometimes coaches will use special teams as an opportunity to get some kids that don't normally get involved in the everyday phases of the game, give them a chance to get in there and get some action. And
just hold a block for 1 second. That's all you got to do. Hold a block for a second. That's your job.
It certainly doesn't seem that difficult, but like I said, I'm not sure if those are substitutes in there, or perhaps it's some of the front line guys who could use a break, and maybe some of the other alternative players could perhaps get in there and do just as good a job.
Lewis and Thompson deep for Wissahickon. Fazzari kicking off for Norristown.
Whistle seemed to be a dead ball foul. I'm trying to get an explanation from expert Mr. Skeet Miller.
The ball crossed the goal line, it's automatically dead. You cannot run it out of the end zone.
All right, here's a rule that I never knew, thanks to Mr. Miller. When the ball kicked off crosses the goal line in high school, the player is not eligible to return the kickoff. They immediately award place the ball at the 20-yard line. Thank you very much, Skeet. Did you know that, Bill?
I did, Tom.
Well, how come I had to rely on Mr. Miller?
Well, you didn't ask.
Jack.
You did not ask.
Okay, Wissahickon now. This is where really Wissahickon's got to be careful, because if they stop playing hard, that's when injuries really can occur. And Norristown now, they sense blood. They smell blood. They're like sharks in a frenzy in the ocean. Everybody out there, in addition to Jacobs, wants to score now. Including, the defensive line. They're looking to pick something off. And this is tough when you're getting blown out like this to maintain your intensity. So this will be a test on the fortitude of the Trojans.
Tom, I think it's also going to be a test for you and I to maintain our focus as well.
Well, we're going to have fun, but we're also going to try to be objective in our reporting, as we are there when we're looking at a very courageous Billy Stout. Rolling out, obvious pain. Look at him, Bill. Obvious pain. Now, let me ask you this. There's no way Wissahickon can win this game. Just based on the athleticism, the dominance of the Eagles. You have backup quarterbacks. Maybe they have backup quarterbacks. Looking at the roster, I'm counting down 1, 2, 3, 4 quarterbacks on the roster. Couldn't they benefit by getting one of their backups experience?
Tom, I'd agree with that, especially with Billy Stout injured. At this point in the game, like you said, it would take a small miracle to get them back in the game at this point. And he's hobbling out on the corner.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness. He just has no legs left, Tom.
That's Blackwell. No, he doesn't. I mean, I think I could go out there, play defensive end, and run him down. And that's not to be facetious. The kid's showing great heart. And look at him limping to the side. I mean, the coach has got to say, look, come on, coach, give him a break. Get somebody else in. He's hurting.
50 seconds left in the third quarter, Tom.
Right.
And hopefully on both ends of the
Where they
football.
let the clock running once the score gets to a certain point. All right, let's hope Norristown maybe can get another touchdown on the board soon, and they could mercifully let this clock run out. If Norristown could get the ball.
That's a great punt there, Tom.
Lead.
Fielded by Baker.
Okay, great punt that caused the Baker to go deep to receive it. Got the ball back to the 39. Once again, the high school rule is once a team amasses a lead of 35 points or more in the second half, the clock continues to run, I imagine, until that deficit is reduced under 35. Is that right, Skeet? Or once, okay. Once 35 or over on a continuum separation of points, the clock continues to run.
Well, Tom, unless my math background is failing me, the Eagles are going to need more than just a score to.
Well, it's 32-7, 39-7 would be 32. You're right. You're right. They would need at least 10. Well, what also allows the clock to run is sustaining a drive on the ground and letting the clock run that way. But with the breakaway speed of James Jacobs, if he's in there, those drives can be over quickly.
Yeah, Tom, I really hope in this fourth quarter that we get a chance to see some of these younger kids that have been practicing since mid-August and preparing themselves for a moment like this to get into a varsity football game and get a few minutes.
Well, here's the situation with that. I see different teams. I don't know if they're special teams. They look like there's a different group of segments of teams down there for Norristown. Whether it's a JV second team, I don't know. But you'll see there was a timeout there. I wonder why. But right now, you're seeing the Norristown varsity offense, and it's a little too early for wholesale subs. But later on, certainly I'm certain that Coach Grove will go to his bench. Wood Jacobs doesn't need much of an opening, does he? Another Trojan down, getting up. Jacobs is racking up big-time yards again.
You don't want to blink when this young man carries the football.
No, and here comes Norristown's team over as the third quarter ends, Billy, with the score 32-7. And what's your assessment of the Eagles of 2001?
Oh, I'm very impressed, Tom. Somewhat of a slow start, and we alluded to the fact that that is a possibility anytime you come into a game that has high emotions involved. But I think the Eagles did a great job in bouncing back, and certainly with the tailback and the speed of Jacobs, they are going to be in any ball game that they play in. And also their defense has stiffened after giving up that early touchdown in the first quarter. They have allowed very little. Whether that is, because of the Eagle defense stiffening or because of the injury to Stout, we'll never know. I'd like to think it's because of the Eagles' fortitude to stop Wissahickon from gaining ground offensively. Tom, I don't know if our audience can hear this fight song in the background, but it's one of my favorites.
Yeah. A couple of people up in the press box are clapping and dancing to it up here.
I don't know the name of it, but I sure like it.
You even got a couple of players rocking on the sideline. Okay, fourth quarter beginning. Blake, hands off. Left side.
Oh, that's number 5 for Norristown.
Lane Pierce, number 5 on the carry, so they do have Jacobs out, I imagine.
Lane Pierce on the carry, picks up the first down yardage.
And I think I'd be surprised if Norristown goes to the air unless they absolutely have to save a possession.